Hi, I am Kedger on 2 wheels, and this will be the review of the Sena Bluetooth Backpack. So I'm recording this through the Bluetooth Backpack. I have no idea of the sound quality so far. I do know that the original sound quality was pretty poor because it has 4 modes of recording or so, which is the normal mode with noise cancelling, which is the one with the poor sound quality. It's not that it's really bad, it's just that it is not good enough for me. For some serious vlogging, audio is important, and so in that case it is a bit weak. For some more casual stuff, that first mode will do. And by casual stuff I mean, for example, recording your kart race, recording some basic vlogs, things like that. Okay, that would work. If you want to do something with a bit more audio and you want to do a good audio experience, then that's just not going to cut the mustard. This is the third mode. Notice I've jumped from first to third, which is Ultra High D mode. Should be better. I don't know. I'm going to have to then review this and see what I think of it. I'll probably cut and then go back into the afternoon or at lunchtime and I'll tell you what I thought of the audio. The other 2 modes, number 2 and number 4, are basically the same, but you can also turn on the internal microphones on... I'm not really sure if it's on the backpack or if it's on the GoPro, but I think it's on the backpack that there are the stereo microphones. So you get audio both from the camera and from your Sena Communicator. Now, this is a great idea from Sena. Even though the original sound quality on the on mode 1 and 2 are poor, it does, even if that was all the modes there was, it still offered a few advantages. For example, you can put the camera anywhere on the bike and not worry about having to have a cable connected to an audio device to record or to a microphone. You can forget about drilling the side of the case like I did. And even if you drill on the side of the case, it's much more convenient to have it this way than having a microphone running all the way up to you and into your helmet so you can talk while the camera, for example, here facing you, or at the front facing you, or in the swing arm filming you foot scraping. So it is much easier to do that way, and you'll always have a microphone protected from the wind so you can record stuff. So yeah, that's a huge advantage, and that was something that broke the market and broke all motovloggers' minds when they saw this. It was like, wow, that's awesome. Okay, just transformed suddenly the GoPro into a proper vlogging machine. Standard sound quality was a bit of a disappointment though. I really hope this is up to the mustard, and even if it's not quite as perfect, and it probably won't be quite as good as the wired microphone I've got, at the very least I can make a few videos in which it will be somewhere else other than my face and then connected via Bluetooth, because that's seriously awesome. And it can also very much work for, I don't know, there's a lot of potentials here. Okay, I really like it. I'm not sure, I think when people call me on the phone, it's not going to work anymore. I think the phone is connected, but let's see if I can start the music. Did it start the music? No. No music for you. Let's see if I can start FM. No. Yeah, so that's a downside. You use this, you are hogging the communicator. Another cool use of this is actually out of the Bluetooth headset. Remember, Sena doesn't make just these headsets, they also make some pretty cool stuff which go over the ear and you wear like headphones, but they're actually Sena communicators. I think on my off-road video, on the off-road course, which I'll link, The guys were using one of those to communicate with each other. Just a little over-ear earpiece you put on, and then with a tiny microphone at the front, and then they were talking to each other, which is pretty cool. It's like an Uber radio. And it worked well, because they were talking to each other easily enough. If the sound quality is anything to go by, it's going to be good enough. And then if you take that and you add a GoPro, you can film some pretty cool stuff. Easily. Say you will be filming, I'm not going to say surfing because communicators and water don't really mix, but say snowboarding, skiing. You can put the GoPro on your pole or on your skis and be talking. You know? Let's say skateboarding, that would work. Put the GoPro on the skateboard and you can record good quality audio. Much better than the standard GoPro inside the case audio. Right? Let's say you're driving a car and you put the GoPro outside. Hey, you can make a car vlog! That's a brilliant idea! I can put the camera on top of the car and go car vlogging with this. That's brilliant! So there's a lot of applications. This is a nice piece of kit. I really like this one. Remember, even if the sound quality is not up to par, you can still make some pretty cool stuff with this. Okay? And not having to worry about having an external recorder and then synchronizing audio. It's just a plug and play thing. Because yeah, for example, for the car vlog thing, you could simply get a microphone around your neck and then put an external recorder, start both roughly at the same time, honk 3 times, and then when editing align the waveform so you'd get audio and video together. But seriously? This is just so much more convenient. So yeah, let's see what sound quality of this little segment was. I'm not going to bore you on a highway. This is not quite a highway, but yeah, so see you on the other side. So this is UHD mode. Let's go into standard mode, which is this. Come on. Okay, this is noise control mode, which, as you can hear, is horrible. It's close the visor, it's tinny, it's the poor quality mode. Not sure why they included this one, to be honest. Yeah, what the hell. Let's go into the HD mode. Okay, so this ought to be a better quality one. And now that I've done it and watched the video, well, it's not bad, but it's not very good. The wired microphone is better, which is the sound you guys are used to hearing, and that's why I'll not use this all the time. It has its uses, but in my case it is just not good enough for everyday use. But I was pleasantly surprised at the good quality it has. So if you want to start vlogging, this is a serious way to do it, because UHD mode is good enough, okay? Unless you're really demanding about audio, I am, it is good enough. It has a few things. For example, this microphone does have some issues with wind noise popping from your breath, because it's in front of my mouth, so it grabs all the P's and S's harshly. But that can be solved with a little sponge, or using the other microphone, which has a little sponge to put on top, or using a dead mouse, which is like the dead cat wind attenuators but tinier for lapel microphones. There's a solution for everything. I gotta find where I've got that one. But so yeah, it does work. It's good enough for normal vlogging, and I will be using it for certain applications, for example, vlogging in third-person mode. So I can vlog with the camera on my shoulder, or facing backwards, or on the bike facing backwards, or underneath the front beak, or on my chest, which is a very nice application, with a camera on my chest using the chesty It has a different perspective, which I quite like. It's very cool for the twisties, and therefore I can still vlog. Or even if I don't vlog, I can still capture the engine noise instead of just hearing the wind noise, which is ridiculous, while going through the twisties, which sounds awesome. So yeah, this is a good piece of kit, yes. Can it be improved? Yes, Sena. If you can throw out a version with wired quality sounds, that would be lovely, lovely, lovely. Meaning even higher than UHD, with none of the tinniness or bass or anything. Just the sound the microphone can hear with very little processing, because the GoPro then takes over from that and it will do all the processing for you. So there's no need to use voice attenuation and noise attenuation, because GoPro does that, and does that brilliantly. So yeah, good piece of kit. Can be better, yes. Size wise and weight wise, it's good. It's not, the case is uglier, okay? The case is pretty ugly, but it's not, it seems really big and bulky, but if you take it next to GoPro, yeah, it is much bigger and bulky. But if you take it next to my GoPro case with the hole drilled and the Sugru, okay, then it's about the same width. Because remember, for me to actually put the GoPro and the adapter, I have to drill a hole, and I have a little rubber thingy that comes out, so the adapter goes in, then the adapter goes in, and then it turns, so the camera's like this big, and you have this width of wire from the adapter. And you can't really escape that, because you need that adapter to fit into the microphone. This case is about as wide, only it's all the whole length, but it is about as wide, just about as tall, and okay, it's a bit thicker because of the backpack, but it's not unwieldingly so. It is bigger, yeah. It is slightly heavier, yeah, it is, but it's not too much. The backpack is actually pretty light, considering. The case seems to be pretty light too. I'm not so sure about it being as sturdy as the GoPro ones, but it does seem waterproof enough, and does seem well built enough that it should be able to stand quite some severe whackings. Remember, part of the resilience of these cameras is that not only the case is hard plastic, the cameras themselves are very light and very tightly packaged into the case, so they don't rattle in it, and any hit is usually dissipated by flying the camera away. So that helps mitigate damage. If you drop a GoPro, it bounces instead of just impacting all that energy onto the case. It just bounces and releases some of that energy on the bounce. So this should also be relatively sturdy, because it's still pretty light. So yeah, it is a good piece of kit. It is a very good way to start vlogging without having to drill your GoPro case. Sound-wise, the ideal solution is still the internal microphone, but this is more reliable, since, as you know, the adapters have this tendency to break. I've broken 2 already, because they're in the wind and they get twisted, the wire breaks internally, etc. This doesn't. And it also has the added benefit of actually clamping your SD card, so even in the event of a very serious crash, the SD card is not going to jump out like it happened to me on the GoPro one. And so yeah, it has quite a few advantages. It only has the disadvantage of the 2 disadvantages of: 1, you can't use your communicator while you are recording, nor even use your music. I'm not sure what happens when people call me. And second disadvantage is sound quality, which isn't quite as good, but in Ultra HD mode, as you are hearing, it is good enough. Okay, it works for a more casual approach. Now, this is with the Sena 5 FM. Perhaps with the Sena 20 you might be able to record and listen to music at the same time. Meu, já posso? Já posso. Might. Not really sure on that. But we'll have to... I would like to try that eventually. And I think... I'm not sure, but I think I've seen that. I think you can be recording and communicating with someone. Meaning intercom. Which allows you to make some pretty spiffy dual vlogs right out of the box. So if you got a buddy to ride, now this is a solution. I think you gotta go investigate this further, make sure this works, but I think it does work. Because I think some people have done that, and not only that, they've managed to somehow trick the system. I remember someone doing that. Someone managed to actually trick the system because Sena said it could only be done with 2. They managed to bug the system and managed to do it with 3 people. All at once on 3 Senas, all recording a triple vlog. Was it the Phobra and Buddies? Was it I Am Ramekin and Buddies? I don't remember. It was something. So it was someone. I Am Ramekin, Mr. Shaky, and I don't recall. I seriously don't recall. It was ages ago. But yeah, Sena, it is about time you send out a V2 of this thing with better sound quality and allowing us to listen to music while we are recording. Or something. Or lighter, smaller. It has a few places where you can improve, so go do it. Come on. Oh, another area you could easily improve is the connector itself. It doesn't need to be that stiff and a big square. You can make it a tiny cable so it would just fit on a smaller case. Yeah? That would work. Oh well. That's it. Kid, you're out.